Hey everybody, long time no see. I have been taking a break from social media. Whatever that flare is above my head is super cool and kind of interesting. You'll see here in a minute. So I have decided to, while I'm driving, delivering DoorDash, to make an introductory video. I don't get hit by this truck first. This is an introduction to me, to who I am, who I really am. I, as you know, as many of you know, am a photographer, a portrait photographer, a underwater photographer. Some of you know me as a motion picture camera assistant, and countless other previous lives that I've lived. And yes, I am all of those things and more. And one thing that many of you know is that my whole life I have been someone who is into spirituality and learning about who we are, why we're here, what everybody else thinks about it, what the organized religions feel. I've been fascinated since I can remember. And also, any of you who know me know that there aren't a lot of things that I am super consistent with. My flights of fancy change often, and that's actually something I used to not like, but now I embrace as something really cool and makes me a very well-rounded person. However, the spiritual aspect of myself and the introspective curiosity that I've always had is something that has been the only through line in my life. And I have tempered it often because I find it makes many people uncomfortable. And so depending on who you are, you either really know that about me or you don't know that much about that aspect of me, of what makes Kara. And I have been doing over the last few years a lot of self-healing work, a lot of introspection, a lot of really nailing down my beliefs in the universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, the all that is, to the point where I feel very, very, very secure in my beliefs and very clear on how I believe it all works. So one of the things that I've realized among this time that I have been doing this healing work and introspection is that I have made myself small throughout my life in many ways. And if any of you know, I'm not a small personality. But I've always felt like I was too much, or I was too loud, or too sensitive, or too whatever the adjective is that you want to put there. And I know now that what that has done is put me into this very small cage of being small, playing small, not really living up to my potential and what I know I'm capable of in this lifetime. What my purpose is here in this lifetime. And this weekend, I was at a retreat, and a very dear friend of mine led me through a process that made me really see that. And I don't want to be that anymore. And so what this video is I am ripping off the Band-Aid. I am letting it hang out Good thing it's cold out. Maybe I'd be naked. Just kidding. I'm not letting all hang out. So, I just want to share with you all, and for many people this will be a surprise. I am okay now with people having their own feelings about it. Another dear friend of mine, Zach Rader, who's an amazing breathwork facilitator, coach, mentor, talks about, I give you permission to have your opinions about me. I give you permission to reject what I'm going to say. I give you permission to be uncomfortable with it. And I also give you permission to be curious and approach me about it. I give you permission to be however you want to be about it, but I am not going to give myself permission to be small anymore. That's over. So, what I have been doing lately, those of you who are into spirituality have probably heard the term higher self. And I see our higher selves as kind of like this GPS satellite in the sky that can see what our plan for ourselves was here on this planet at this time, in this incarnation, as a human. And we have this plan, and then we forget, because we need to forget to be able to learn the lessons that our soul wants to learn. And this GPS is something that we can tap into to help guide us of what our lessons are, what path we had chosen to take. Sometimes we forget and we get off path, which is fine too. It's all free will. And that this higher self is us. It sounds like us. It is our voice in our head. It's that answer that you get when you ask a question, you have the answer before you're even finished forming the thought. That is your higher self, and we all have one. Many of us are not in touch with it. Many of us don't know it exists. Anyway, so that's quick definition. So what I have been doing about the last 2 years is I've been really getting in touch with mine. And what that looked like at first was just meditating, listening, clearing out the noise so that I could hear this still small voice who is actually very mighty, as are all of us. And I started channeling. So I would start writing. I would ask a question and I would start writing. And what I realized was what I was writing was that higher self, the voice of that higher self. And it was all filled with love, with support, with guidance, with clarity. And it was my voice. But it was the voice that is sometimes hard to hear because we have a lot of shoulds and woulds and coulds and society and patterns and stories. Too loud for us to hear it. So recently, with some close friends, I have started to channel other people's higher selves through mine. And I thought, something I was just going to try to help somebody who was having a hard time, had some questions. And what came through blew my mind. I could feel in the moment that it wasn't me. I could understand what was coming through. I could feel the words, and even some of them would apply to me personally. And I would record it or do a voice memo, like whatever, record the conversation. But what blew me away was when I played it for that person, how deeply it touched them and how appropriate it was. And after that that channeling is over, I don't remember most of it. I have to re-listen to it to even see what it was that was said. And it has been life-changing for me. I love it so much because I get to be of service, which is what I truly want. I love being of service to people. I love helping people understand things, and I love listening, and people for some reason have always liked talking to me about stuff. And so it makes me tear up because it feels so aligned. And to see something light up in somebody when they hear it, like an aha moment, or like just a clarity, or like this question, this burning question they've had finally answered and they haven't even asked it. Like, it is the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. And I've had a lot of experiences, as have we all. And so at this retreat last weekend, I offered this, and it was really, really hard for me to say it out loud and to offer it, and I felt really exposed. And it was very clear, per my higher self, that this channeling offering at this retreat was as much for me as it was for them. It was about being seen, being exposed, being vulnerable, potentially failing, potentially doing it wrong. And I did it anyway. And I'm so happy that I did, because what came from it were 12, I think it was 12 was the count, amazing channels. And every time I would do it, it would get better and clearer and easier. And it has been life-changing. And so I just want to put this message out there now to say, this is me. It's nice to meet you. And if you're curious about this, if you want to just talk, if you just have stuff to say and you don't know that anybody in your life could hear it or wants to hear it, but you just need a sounding board, or you need someone to ask you guiding questions to help you get clear on something, if you want to try out this higher self, channel that I'm offering, please reach out. Please reach out. I have, these are tears of joy and like overwhelming love for all of you. And if you just need some love, some support, just to be heard, to be seen, I will see you. I will hear you, and I will channel a message for you from your GPS until you are able to do it for yourself. And I just want you all to know that I'm offering this because the thought of doing something like this was terrifying up until now. And even now, this is uncomfortable. And I feel like it's so necessary, and I'm so excited about this, and it feels so good. So reach out to me. What feels good to me right now is this is new, and I just feel like I would like to do it on a donation basis. I feel like it's necessary for people to have skin in the game to really take something seriously, and so whatever that looks like for you, what you feel like it's worth to you, that will probably change once I get more comfortable in this, once I suss out what the offering is. But right now, that feels good for me. And I just really want to support you in wherever you are right now. And I love you so much. And so it is.